A J-Mix exclusive.
Hello all, it's J-Mix here, and I'd like to welcome all my YouTube subs and viewers to an exclusive interview with Thug Life member and Tupac's brother, Mr. Mopreme Shakur. I was lucky enough to be able to speak to Mopreme on June 16th, 2014, which coincidentally was Tupac's birthday. So for your viewing pleasure, I humbly submit my interview with Mopreme Shakur. Mopreme, I appreciate you taking the time, especially on today of all days.
Yeah, it's one of them days, you know.
Yes, sir. And I wanted to take the time to give a shout out to Mutulu Shakur, ask you how he's doing, and how 2014's looking for him.
Oh, the good doctor is he's holding it down. He's holding it down. He basically fully recovered from the stroke he had a few months ago. So he's doing his therapy with what little bit he can do inside, and getting ready for parole in August, God willing. You know, he could be free. So we just sending hopes and prayers out there and rallying all our support as much as we can get, you know.
Well, I think a lot of people are pulling for him, and we're hopeful for that. So thank you. Now, Mopreme, a lot of people don't realize that you were the first member of your family to have a hit record. Can you tell us who inspired you musically?
Mm. Um, I was interested in music pre-rap, so my influences come from soul, funk, and the early rappers. I used to listen to Slave. I used to listen to Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Spoonie G, Busy Bee Starsky. I was in New York in the beginning at the birth of hip hop, so it all rolled into hip hop for me.
At what point did you realize that you yourself had a musical talent?
Uh, I didn't really realize it until I think I was like the 10th grade. 10th grade, I entered a talent show, and then I was just breakdancing. I was me and two other brothers, my man Terrell and Pat. We got together, the Pop Masters, in high school, and we were breaking and popping. And we actually placed in the talent show, and then from then on, it was like, okay, I guess I could do this a little bit.
Could you tell us a little bit about your time in the military and how that morphed into you getting out and starting to record your own demos?
Well, when I got out the military, I was still fairly young, 22, 23. And being from New York with all my love for music and the rap game, because I really felt a part of hip-hop and that whole movement and the culture. So when I got out to the West Coast, I was stationed out in Fort Ord, California. And when I got out, I went to doing what I love. I was well as working, but I was making my demos on the side. And one of the producers was related to one of the members of the Tonys, and Tony, and the rest is history.
Now, that was that song Feels Good, right? That was your first appearance?
Yes, sir. I actually did two songs on that album. Feels Good and Those Were the Days. I wrote on two songs, but Feels Good was the single. So that's the one more people are familiar with.
Now, Mopreme, previously you told me that this was right around the time that you reconnected with Tupac. Can you tell us a little bit about reconnecting with Tupac and also explain the reason that why you guys were apart for so long?
Pac and I, as well as the rest of the members of my family, we connected back in '89, we had been disconnected because my father was underground. He was on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. He was a wanted man. So the FBI, the federal authorities, was watching the whole family. And we have a lot of extended family. And so, Pac and I have different mothers. So my mother went one way, and Pac and Fanny, they went in Setua, they went another way. We kind of split up and separated for several years because we didn't want Mutulu to be caught that easily.
Now, was this normal for you when you were growing up? Did it seem out of place that Mutulu was wanted the way he was? Or was it just a normal upbringing to you?
It was not normal to that point. I mean, we knew there was a certain amount of scrutiny with our family, with my father. Me being as young as I was, I didn't know exactly what it was, but he still had always been around. He still had been there. We would still, I would still get to see him on the weekends, and but when he went underground, there was no contact at all.
As stated before, around the time of Feels Good, the Tony single, you reconnected with Pac. Can you tell us how that reconnection formulated into the Thug Life group and movement?
Well, the Thug Life project was a little bit further down the line, but Fanny Shakur, she knew I was in the Bay Area after I got out the military, and Pac and Setua, my sister, were there in the Bay as well. And she sent me a card to come over for Thanksgiving and reconnect with your brother and sister. And that's exactly what I did. And Pac and I were together till he passed. But work-wise, at that point, when we reconnected, I had already recorded the Feels Good record, and it was about to come out. It hadn't come out yet. But Pac being a young entertainer, wanting to be in the game, he was inspired. And, he went on to, connect strongly with Digital Underground and do his thing. And then I was doing the Feels Good thing. And, we were both two brothers working, trying to make it in the business. Once he got the film deal, once he got Juice, it was a whole different ball game. Once we were able to make films, it was a whole different ballgame.
Now, I've been told that the Thug Life idea was a derivative of the 50, I guess it's kind of politically incorrect for me to say, but of the tattoo that you share with your brother. Is that true?
Yes. Pac, we both of us come from parents who were community organizers. From the Panthers to different activities in the community. We come from community organization, and we were trying to do the same thing. And it's like us being raised a lot in the streets. We see these groups of people, and we need to be doing something positive with these groups of people. But we had to get their attention first. So our first attempt at that was 50 Niggaz. Only a few of us got the tat. Me, Pac, Mouse Man, and Man, I think. We all used to run together. So 50 Niggaz represented the states. One good nigga, one good brother in every state. As long as we have one, we can accomplish anything. So that's what it began as. And, the name was a bit controversial or whatever. So, but we, in-house, we were still using it until Pac became the catalyst for the thug movement. and we reworked it. We included our father to help us. You know, we wrote the Thug Code, list of rules and regulations to go by. You know, to make it, you know, as palatable as possible.
Once again, this is J-Mix here, giving a special shout out to Mr. Mopreme and all my YouTube subs and viewers. Keep it locked right here because I've got much more with Mopreme and many more interviews to come. I'll see everybody on the next upload. One love, everybody.
A J-Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up.